Hello, welcome back to the Boston Review.
What's good? I'm Jesse. This is the Epoch of Incredulity, Season 4, Episode 125, featuring commentary from Comrade Scott, Joe, Chava, and myself. Prepare for a bit of history on Truman, Stalin, and the UN, a deluge of reporting on Israeli friendly fire, and the surprise hidden beneath those sexy fatigues. Insurance as a weapon. Joe finally gets his cosmic justice on a fully erect Kissinger, chaos in the Congo, a dispute over expropriated oil fields in South America, the housing crisis surpasses absurdity, and we close with a banger from the British boys' bathroom and slams from the city of eternal spring.
Please do us a favor, share this content, do yourself a favor, enjoy our epoch.
We all watched the television coverage of just yesterday. That's on top of everything else that we know and don't know yet, based on what we've just been able to see. And because we've seen it or not doesn't mean it hasn't happened.
Do you know the basic structure of the UN?
A whole lot of countries go to a room that looks like a horseshoe and they yell at each other, and then somebody is taking notes the whole time, and then they're like, "This is what you agreed on." I don't know. Fucking tell me.
So the UN, it has what are called the principal organs. The three that I really know anything about are
principal organs. Wow.
General Assembly, the International Court of Justice, and the Security Council. And reason being that the General Assembly is the broadest body, I guess. It's called the deliberative assembly of all the member states.
Yeah, that's the horseshoe room where they all yell at each other, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the crazy thing is that like the world is usually on the same page about like condemning genocide. And
Usually.
Well, like there are some things that reliably get the same votes every time, with US, Ukraine, and Israel either voting down or abstaining, being like the Cuban embargo, the genocide of Palestinians.
Can't forget the genocide that's going on in the Congo right now.
Yep.
Right.
So the General Assembly is where all member states are represented, but there isn't actually any like executive power associated with the General Assembly.
Hmm.
In order for policy to be like legally binding, like actionable, it goes to the Security Council.
Hmm.
The Security Council is comprised of, it has, I believe, 5 permanent seats, right,
Yeah,
Joe?
5 permanent seats with veto power, and then like another 8 that rotate in and out.
And that sounds like a bad idea, though.
It's a terrible.
It
And
is.
those five permanent seats are comprised of basically the victors after World War II.
Specifically the US, the
Big
UK,
surprise.
France, China, and Russia. Though, importantly, China was not allowed to have its seat on the UN until the late 1980s. And for like the first 3.5 decades or so of the UN's existence, China's
Taiwan.
seat actually belonged to Taiwan.
And also importantly, Russia's seat used to belong to
Come
the
on.
USSR, which
Yeah.
at that point, and Joe and I were talking about this on the Discord, there was a brief period of time after World War II that particularly the American leadership, but I think the Western leadership in general, were more optimistic about Stalin just accepting a fucking terrible deal to farm out the Soviet Union for like capitalist development in the same way that like Western
Did
Europe
not go how
did.
they expected.
Yeah, and he said no.
Spoilers.
That was a big L.
So immediately Truman
True man.
did I don't know. I don't want to say he did a 180 because he kind of ran on being a
Well,
dick.
actually, he was basically treated like the person at the kids' table during his time as vice president. He didn't even go to Yalta. He stayed behind. He wasn't seen as important enough to be worth participating in these kind of things.
He's a true man.
And so, like, he either doesn't have any idea what's going on or decides to change his mind because he listened to all the hawks in the cabinet.
Yeah, I was trying to like follow this just by refreshing on the Wikipedia lore, and his relationship to the Soviet Union was so vague because, like, he had no reason for changing his stance
But he
towards
responded with immediate hostility.
Yeah. So, like, the phrasing
Truman.
of the Wikipedia articles on Truman, and specifically, like, the Truman Doctrine, they don't really make any sense because it's like there never was any change in policy on the Soviet side.
You ended up with a guy who... This is what the
This is
DNC
the guy.
member who said of Truman, who he got elected.
I got Truman elected because I wanted to see if I could get an idiot into the U.S. Senate.
Success, man.
Joe, you see Oppenheimer?
I have not, but I want to see it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Chava
It's
saw
like,
it.
my life has been a bit
Yeah.
nuts for the last couple months.
That Gary Oldman scene. Gary Oldman at the end is Truman. Good scene.
That was Gary Oldman? Shit. I
Yeah, it's Gary Oldman, dog.
I never noticed when it's Gary Oldman because he gets so into his roles.
Yeah. He calls Oppenheimer a crybaby. It's great. We love it.
Yeah.
We love
All
it.
right,
Good
so-
movie. Anyways, moving on.
As for the rest of the UN, the other important organ, at least that I know anything about, is the International Court of Justice. And that is where, if the United Nations has declared so-and-so is committing a genocide, normally,
They get dragged to The Hague.
if that nation...
The Hague.
if that nation under scrutiny participates in the International Court of
Fucking
Justice,
Hague.
they can be tried in that international court. However, Israel, which I wanted to talk about this in the last episode, so I'm glad we're going over this. Israel, who claims to not recognize the authority of the United Nations, is
Really? Wow.
afforded
Fuck them.
kid gloves because of the United States' position on the United Nations Security Council, because the United States will veto any action taken against Israel through the organs of the United Nations, even though the United States does not participate in the International Court of Justice either. So the U.S., they basically say we are above the law. Israel claims itself to be above the law. They are both UN member states, so they both have voting power in as far as like the General Assembly goes, and the United States has supreme voting power because it's on the Security Council. And even more fucked up is international headquarters for the United Nations
Is in New York.
is in New York.
Yeah.
Even though the United States doesn't abide by the Rome Statute, which, like, would, in theory, be the only thing that holds any of these countries accountable for their war crimes.
So the UN is useless, is what you're saying.
Yes. To further add on to that point, since
Sorry.
Congress passed a law in 2002 that obligates the United States military to implement a contingency plan to invade the Netherlands
What?
in the event that any member of the United States military or any U.S. government official is put on trial at The Hague for war crimes. That is federal law.
Wow.
So, what the fuck do we do about that?
So if, say, like, they decide to put Kamala Harris on trial
Yeah,
at The
no,
Hague,
yeah.
the military is obligated to invade another
why-
country.
Kamala Harris. Why was that your example?
Because I saw a clip of her today when she basically sounded like she was zooted out of her mind.
Why Kamala Harris?
And-
Why not Joe Biden? Why was Kamala Harris your first?
She was giving some speech and she's like
Why
talking
not Joe
about,
Biden?
oh, I have
I saw
to,
her on TV.
yeah, and she's
Okay.
like,
Sure.
we've seen everything that we've seen on TV or something like that. It was just
All right, fine.
She looks in her purse and it's just completely full of Xanax.
Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. Here, whoa.
I have all of the Xanax of the District of Columbia in my bag.
You just talked through all of it. What the fuck, dude? God damn you, man. Oh, God. All right, go back to talking about more things of substance with Palestine. Sorry I interrupted with the UN.
We already kind of talked about this. I mean, I did in like
It's
my
bullshit.
monologue, but
Everything that's happening.
normally you could try individuals from an administration in the aggressor country for war crimes if they were party to the Rome Statute. But in this case, you can't because Israel isn't. So the alternative to that would be to intervene on behalf of the victim, the Palestinians.
Yeah.
However, Palestine, because they are basically a colonized territory,
It's not recognized by the UN.
they don't have member state status in the United Nations.
Yeah, they have observer status.
Observer?
Yeah.
The fuck does that mean?
And
Means
the
that they're
only
not a
way
state.
for a territory to become officially integrated into the United Nations with member state status
What I meant.
is for the Security Council to approve it. So they will be forever trapped in limbo unless somehow the United Nations makes use of one of its other 3 organs that we haven't mentioned, either the Secretariat, the Economic and Social Council, or the Trusteeship Council,
That's so
to
many damn organs.
wield that against the state of Israel, the fucking Zionist
The
occupation,
errant child of America.
which realistically, it's not going to
Not
happen.
gonna happen, yeah.
You know, it just seems like such a glaring oversight. And it's hard to believe because at the time that the United Nations was founded, is that what? Founded?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
1945.
I mean, there was the League of Nations, but then it became the UN.
Like at the time of its founding, the Soviet Union was a permanent member of the Security Council. We just fucking talked about this. God damn it! I just talked myself in a circle. But yeah, anyway, that's why
Sorry.
that's why Vladimir Putin will never be able to be tried for invading Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
He has the luxury of also being the head of state of one of the permanent Security Council states.
Yeah. Subject of the Oscar-winning documentary Navalny has gone missing. That's all we need to say about that, and let's move on.
To be honest, who the fuck cares about
That's why...
Navalny? Because he's like a far-right nationalist who hates immigrants.
Yes, Joe, I always try to say that, like, put it in more delicate terms, and then you're just... He's a wrecking ball, and we love it. Yeah, I get it. He's a scumfuck, we know.
That's how this shit works.
He's basically
They're all
like
such dorks.
Russia's like Ahmed Chalabi.
Who the fuck is that, dog?
He was like a right-wing like
Say no
politician
more.
in Iraq who wanted to be
Literally,
like
say no more. Don't talk.
No. That's
he
not what I
wanted to
meant.
be like ruler of Iraq, and like we astroturfed him into like being like the prime minister during our occupation years.
Prime Minister of Iraq? Oh.
Yeah, after we, occupied it and overthrew Saddam Hussein.
What are you doing? You beating off? What does that sound?
I'm packing a tin of Stokers.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's you. Okay. Oh, man. So, yeah, what's the number now? 21,000
Yeah, about there.
have been killed.
But we did learn this week, courtesy of the Palestinian resistance, that apparently the Israeli army is perhaps the only army in the world that wears diapers. More specifically, Pampers.
That's right.
Do you have context? What the fuck are you talking about? What?
One of the Palestinian resistance spokesmen, he said at a press conference a couple days ago, quote, "So that you can get an idea of the Zionist army's cowardice, the most extraordinary thing we always discover after every battle is that the enemy's army is perhaps the only army in the world that wears diapers. More specifically, Pampers."
Wait, okay. Why do they wear diapers? What's going on? Or what?
Apparently the Israelis are like shitting themselves.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the IDF is
I was
a
kinda shocked. Sorry.
mandatory thing. So it's a bunch of like 19-year-olds who have to be in the army, whether
Mandatory
they
conscription.
want to or not.
Fucked up.
Although luckily you can get like exempt from service if you're depressed or something.
I mean,
That's good.
when you look at the quality of soldier that's coming out of that farm, you realize why
Yeah,
the
Israeli
draft
media just
failed in
reported, like,
Vietnam.
the Israeli army accidentally killed 13 of its soldiers in yet another friendly fire incident today.
How'd they do that?
They mistook their own troops for Hamas.
Yeah, I was gonna say with guns.
Okay. Fuck you guys. I'm kidding.
It's like, I have never really seen an army with this many friendly fire incidents in like 2 months.
Yeah.
Unless you count those cops in Atlanta.
Another Israeli eyewitness who was at the rave that the Western media is like, oh, like, Hamas killed like 1,400 people. Yeah, another Israeli survivor was like, yeah, it was actually the Israeli military who just started indiscriminately shooting at everything, and we kind of got caught in a crossfire.
So they're like poorly trained.
Incredibly poorly trained.
What the fuck?
Israeli soldiers go on TV and are like interviewed and are like, we asked our commander, like, is that a civilian? And they were like, I don't know, just start shooting.
It's not just because they're poorly trained. That's how the Vietnam War started. Like, if you make your troops paranoid enough, they will start shooting at ghosts.
Yes.
Though also the Israeli army has a doctrine in which
correct.
It is preferable to kill potential hostages rather than allow them to become hostages.
Yeah.
Called the Hannibal Directive. Like, I saw a report out of Hayert.
Wait, you said the Hannibal Directive?
Yeah. Yep. Hayert did an investigation in which it concludes...
Hannibal, the fucking, like, the guy.
With the elephants.
Yeah. Because that's what he would do?
The guy with the elephant?
Yeah, he marched a bunch of elephants.
You don't know the old... You don't know... Do you not?
The guy with the elephant.
You don't know, like, the historical Hannibal?
He crossed the Alps with elephants.
Yeah.
The Romans were not expecting this dude to show up with elephants.
He was a Carthaginian general and statesman.
I don't know. There's more than one Hannibal, okay?
He's not just... No, not the guy who ate people's livers. Not just him.
Well, that's the only other one I know.
Suffice it to say, the Romans really did not see that one coming.
I mean, and if you follow the canonical end of Hannibal the book, like, he kind of does follow that. Like, he doesn't like to be taken hostage. Like, he cut off his own hand instead of being taken hostage. I'm just saying, so it could be, named after him as well. Anyways, I'm a dork. What were we talking about?
About how the Israeli army is, like, incompetent.
Right.
So, I saw a report today, quote, Israeli media concluded that...
It's a chaotic episode.
Israeli media reported that an internal security assessment found that Israeli helicopters that arrived at the rave during the October 7th operation killed most of the partygoers. The Israeli security establishment's assessment regarding the events on October 7 was that Palestinian resistance fighters were unaware of the rave and only learned about it after their gliders had reached the area and drones were airborne.
So it was a coincidence. It wasn't a target. It was just a coincidental event that was happening in the same night. Okay.
Also, conveniently, the Israelis have destroyed all of the evidence.
Oh, you don't say. All right.
Yeah, and it looks like it was an air attack from, like, all of the destroyed cars that have bullet holes in the roof. Like, Hamas does not have an air force. To be fair,
Hamas's rockets are about as destructive as a regular bullet. No shade on Hamas. I mean, I know they're not working with
thousands of cars, like, shredded to bits.
It was a joke. It was a bad. It was.
So yeah, there's not much that can be done. It looks like.
Well, depressingly and predictably enough, Yemen, the poorest country in the Arab world, is having to be the only adult in the room. They are probably going to be the thing that ultimately forces Israel to cave because Yemen has they've expanded their naval blockade of the Red Sea and the Al Mandab Strait, which is like the southern end of the Suez Canal, to include not just cargo ships that are owned by Israelis, but all cargo ships, regardless of nation, that are bound for Israel. In fact, they actually just hit a cargo ship with a cruise missile yesterday that was heading for Israel. And it is strangling the Israeli economy, or will, because the second largest cargo shipping giant in the world, in a formal statement, indicated that they are going to be increasing insurance premiums for ships heading to Israel, which they're calling an emergency risk surcharge beginning in January. The surcharge will be used to accommodate additional insurance costs and ultimately ensure that continued and sustainable service for our customers to Israel, the statement read. Starting from January 8th, customers will incur an additional fee of $50 per 20-foot container. For larger containers measuring 40 to 50 feet, the additional premium surcharge will be $100. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but like each cargo ship carries like massive amount of these containers. and you're like, every single one, you're going to have to pay like $50 to $100 in additional insurance premiums per container.
Also, you need to take like unequal exchange into account. Anytime you're talking about a country that isn't the United States.
$50 to $100 is like a lot of money.
Yeah. Not necessarily because of consumer prices, but because of wages, because of compensation. But
yeah,
that's like a month's of worth of labor in some countries, which is heinous.
Mm-hmm.
The Israeli economy is also kind of collapsing as we speak.
Wow.
About 500,000 settlers have already fled Israel since October.
How many people? What's...
So Israel's population is about 7 million.
Israel too hard. It's too hard.
And about 500,000 settlers have already fled the country and probably aren't coming back.
To live in Israel.
And then on top of that, 500,000 who have fled, about 360,000 have been conscripted by the military. So they're not in the workforce anymore because they're being deployed to fight the Palestinians. And then on top of that, 173,000 settlers have requested unemployment benefits from the state. And of that 173,000, 60% of them are between the ages of 20 and 40. Prime age, like working age adults are now like unemployed
because they go
large...
into service so like early.
And they suck at it.
No, because like businesses are like closing down because
suck at it.
They're like on the border with Gaza
or whatever.
Fucking owned by capitalism.
So like capitalist logic is like literally crushing the Israeli economy like in on itself. On top of
internally
like,
and externally. That's what I was gonna say. Is like, damn, based capitalism, fucking jacking up insurance rates.
And this isn't to mention the fact that apparently the casualty count for the Israeli military is about 10 times higher than what they are currently admitting in public.
How do you know that?
Because it was reported in like I think it was either Al Jazeera or Al Mayadeen, which is like the largest news outlet in Lebanon. The number of people major hospitals in Israel are saying that they are dealing with is like 10 times larger than what the Israeli military claims that they've sustained in casualties.
Yeah, Israel has had to put its fucking money where its mouth is because they've been advertising the IDF as like it's fucking cool to be
badass motherfuckers. Yeah,
they're all young and hot, and now
meanwhile
they're just, like,
they've suffered like 10 to 12,000 casualties in 2 months.
They're hot. They know how to do.
They wear diapers.
They wear diapers.
They wear diapers. They know how to do memes. And they're just dead bodies strewn across the battlefield, bloodied corpses. Sorry. Sorry.
They suffer lots of eye injuries. About 10% of the casualties are suffered eye injuries because of like shrapnel from IEDs.
So they got a bunch of glasses wearing Poindexters.
Also,
on the
a lot of the
battlefield?
injuries have required amputation. Something like 20% of the casualties require amputation. And about 10% are suffering from mental health problems.
Why? I don't like the
Only
term.
10?
The term casualty is it's like
it's vague as fuck. Yeah.
Can you imagine like normalizing getting like mangled in warfare and somebody's just like, oh, it's just a casualty, you know? Like it's the least casual shit on earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jesse, I have to ask, were you doing 6-year-old Pete Buttigieg earlier when you were saying it's too hard to live in his wheel?
No.
6-year-old Pete Buttigieg?
That's like a
voodoo gig.
Pete Buttigieg, I'm 6 years old.
Hey, Buttigieg.
We are so fucking like politics.
Male Pete.
God damn it.
He's real.
I haven't been able to find hummus in Ohio.
What the hell is it?
Not
Some
the
kind of
East
tube?
Palestine.
There you go.
But I will find
Triumphant
it.
return.
In my tank in Israel.
Everybody.
I'm here
Boom,
to
boom.
destroy
Oh my god.
hummus.
They're not gonna stop.
I know this isn't my day job, but this is what I want to do.
Wait, what?
Like people, I know my day job is to like deal with the trains that are derailing, but I'm in Israel instead.
Oh, okay. See, when you need to explain your joke,
It's usually not funny.
Anyways, I'm gonna let you have your like whatever orgasmic release you need for the death of Kissinger because you're a weirdo. So go off.
I'm a normal person.
All right, this is what he says.
Have you catharsis
You all
catharsis
can
of joy?
you all can join in on the celebration, of course.
Like,
you know.
He's a guy who like killed like 3 to 4 million people.
He had his own little
With his
like
bare
2/3
hands.
Holocaust.
Yeah, he's up there with like Churchill and Hitler as like the worst mass murderers of the 20th century, just in terms of body count.
You know, apparently he fucked a lot of women. You know that, Joe?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
There's actually a video of like Mao meeting his wife and like looking at Kissinger, being like surprised at how short he is compared to her.
It was very funny.
But yeah, like
I'm not gonna be as annoying as I wasn't annoying.
You
I
were
did
already
annoy-
okay. Here's the thing.
Joe, you've been waiting for this for so long.
You spent so long hyping up.
Come, just come. It's okay.
like. It's exciting that he's like.
It was like,
It's exciting to share the world with one less demon, but like I do kind of disagree with the terminally online take of like he won because like
he did.
was
He
really
lived to be
old.
100, motherfucker. He slept with countless women.
He didn't even
influenced
suffer.
global politics.
He
killed
didn't
countless
even
people.
suffer.
He was at the top of that pyramid, and now he's just in the void, and that sucks.
To the very fucking last day, I'm sure if you asked that bastard how he slept at night, he said, "Great."
I
On a
disagree though
pile
with the
of
idea that he
money
won.
with
Yeah.
many beautiful ladies.
With a
I
hard
disagree
dick.
for multiple reasons. First
With a
off,
hard dick.
Slept
what I
with
would
a
constitute
fucking
winning and
massive
losing is
erection.
yes, with a hard dick.
first off, I consider
Full
winning and
mast.
losing. Are you dead right now? The answer is yes.
Joe is
you
just
have lost.
going. What are you talking about? Joe, what?
I disagree with the idea that he won.
Oh, okay. Why? Go on.
Because first of all, if you are currently not dead at this moment, you are winning. He is dead. He is
he
therefore
died.
lost.
Yeah, but, okay, fine. I get it.
But
It's
also,
fine.
like,
Whatever.
to paraphrase Mark, I'm probably going to butcher a little bit. Mark is like,
Oh, you're gonna butcher
the
Marx?
true determination of wealth is the amount of free time one has to pursue their creative pursuits. And, like, he had to spend the last years of his life being carted around to clean up other people's messes.
Yeah, but he
Yeah, but
he did fuck off for a long ass time. Like all of the dumbass conferences that he spoke at, like he wanted to gloat. He wanted to participate in these think tanks. He did exactly what he wanted to do. And I'm
But
sorry,
then
I don't want to
also-
rain on your parade, but it's like that's what his idea of fun is. You know what I mean?
yeah,
that's
that's
because
why
he was
let's
a
just keep him on the
sociopath.
table. He wanted to.
Here you go for another table.
But,
I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide, Joe. That's what I'm trying to say.
no, the last reason I think he kind of lost is because, like, Republicans very much understand that they are, like, political actors serving an agenda greater than themselves. And Kissinger's life's work was, like, building up the institutions like the State Department and, like, the empire and overseeing the empire. And then having to watch as it crumbles and the people who, like, succeed him in, like, the halls of power are dumber, more insane, more reckless. To the point where he has to try to be a moderating influence on it to keep the whole thing from burning down. And then having to die with the knowledge that your life's work, the empire, is collapsing in real time.
All right. I mean, I guess that's an argument. Okay. Sure. All right. I don't disagree. All right.
Yeah, I guess he died knowing that China is better
dead
than
in a
America
box.
is, but like
Yeah, exactly.
Dead in the box. I don't know what that's from.
I saw that meme of, it was like a stock image of like a woman like pulling her hair back, and the caption was, Nancy Reagan when Kissinger comes through the gates of hell.
Oh, boy.
Because he's sucking that.
You finished the sentence there. Anyways. Yeah. Before we get into the next topic, can you actually talk about what is happening in the Congo? Because I thought that was going to be a point we were going to go over.
I'm not as like completely up to speed about what's going on, but there is some sort of genocide.
Did you have the
happening.
broad strokes at least? Because I don't know shit. All I know is there's a genocide and I don't know the details, and it's probably bad.
You know about as much as I do then.
Oh, fuck. And he laughs.
I love him.
Well, time to do some Googling.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's something you should have already done.
Congolese genocide.
Fuck.
Oh. Whoa. It's... Whoa. This...
I do know it's in the millions.
No, to say there's nothing complicated about the Gazan genocide. There's dozens of groups involved in this fighting, so like it's actually much more complicated.
Which
on
is
the
why I
surface.
didn't have time to
Yeah,
flesh it out.
yeah, it's kind of just like a civil war that's happening in the Congo.
It's a massive clusterfuck.
Yeah. All right. This is one of the times we can plead ignorant Western whiteness because, like, whoa, this seems very. Even Democracy Now's little blurb on it, like, can't get into the details of it. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know what to say. This world's fucked.
What we can say is that these kind of conditions arise in colonized countries like the DRC,
Yes.
where people are perpetually exploited, not just from without, but also from the comprador capitalists within.
Hmm.
Kind of like the Palestinian Authority.
Yeah. Fuck Michael Crichton. You know?
The DRC is one of those nations that Michael Parenti
Someone
would
got
refer
it, at least
to
thank
as how, like, African nations are portrayed as poor by the West.
That's why I said fuck Michael Crichton, yeah.
Michael Parenti would say, like,
They're resource rich, but materially poor.
the country is rich, but the people are poor.
Yes. Yes.
Which is a perfect description of Guyana. Because, what is it, 41 or 47% of the population is under the poverty line.
Yes, they have the highest rate of suicide of any. Like, I almost feel
Jesus Christ.
It is a very complex thing because, yes, probably one of the most textbook definitions of colonialism, but the remnants of the colonial occupation have just left like generations of
people completely fucked.
Yeah, like it's the descendants of former slaves. So they're the people that actually benefit from the capital in Guyana are not the locals. Like, it is very much the same situation that Venezuela was in before the, well, I guess they're still kind of in it, but those were the same conditions that led to the Bolivarian Revolution. Venezuela, like Guyana, is very rich in natural resources, namely oil, and
But the people are poor because we are trying to strangle their economies to death.
Like, they're not even Venezuelan or Guyanese companies. They are American companies that have basically unlimited rights to exploit those resources and then export them back to the imperial core where they can refine them and then fucking sell them back to the countries that they found them in.
At a profit.
At a huge markup, yeah.
I mean, yeah, when you steal it and then sell it back.
Yeah, shit's not good.
See, the world is fucked. The world is a fucked up place.
And what the fuck is this world? What have they done to us? What did they do to us?
Thank you. Broke the tension. What's going on with the housing crisis, Joe?
Oh, I forgot to mention about Palestine. Israel today began pumping seawater into Gaza's soil because they claim it will flood the tunnels.
Okay.
Sure,
that's really good for the agriculture.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a war crime unto itself.
Anyway, we just briefly alluded to Venezuela, Guyana. About 2/3 of Guyana is now, allegedly, it's under dispute. I mean, it has been under dispute, but the United Nations is reaffirming the right of that land to the Guyanese people, although it is still, what did you say, Joe? Like 98% under the control of like American capital.
ExxonMobil, 98% of the oil that they found like 5 or 6 years ago.
There are small communities in West Guyana, but the vast majority of the nation lives on the coast. So I can understand why why Nicolas Maduro would try and, rally his people to reclaim a chunk of what was part of Venezuela before multiple colonial empires started fighting over it. There's definitely moral gray area in there. And the UN is siding with the Guyanese. So I will not exercise any judgment one way or the other.
Thank you.
That was nice.
Thank you. Joe, there's a housing crisis.
Well, I mean, there's been a housing crisis
crisis
for a long time, but like,
Housing.
you know, we've reached like a new stage of like really fucked up capitalism. When
There's been a housing crisis? Motherfucker, I missed it.
Hold on, this is a really important.
I missed it.
This is a really important question.
Gotta have them ribs.
Do you ever get the urge to say like roofing instead of roofing?
No.
Okay.
Sorry to disappoint. Or say wooder.
Order.
Oh, that was an appropriate response.
I rate that a 7.
That's gonna be that's what's gonna happen to the housing bubble. Housing. Fuck me. The housing crisis.
The housing bubble.
Fuck me.
He's trying to like find a way to fix rent prices.
Talk about it. Talk about what's happening with the housing crisis.
The bubble.
That's just gonna happen. The bubble is gonna burst. It's gonna burst.
You know, we've reached a new stage of capitalism.
Shut up and fucking talk about it.
When I'm trying to talk about it.
Shut up. Sorry.
I keep trying to talk about it, and you're like, why don't you talk about it? But you know, we've reached like a new stage of capitalism when legislation has to be introduced to prohibit individuals and entities from owning more than 75 single-family residences for other purposes, because hedge funds keep buying up hundreds of like single-family homes at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Zuckerberg just bought like, what is it?
Zuckerberg.
$500 million worth of single-family homes.
Sucking in Fuckerberg.
I want him out of my life. He's always there.
Because like he wants to be basically a landlord.
He's our landlord already. On Threads, on Instagram.
Well, now he's going to become your actual landlord.
Yeah, dog. We're going to have to use one of those electronic keys to get into the house. And it's going to break one night, and so you're going to get stuck outside, and the wolves are going to come.
Oh, no.
And you know what wolves I'm talking about? I'm talking about those little robots from that episode of Black Mirror, because you know what's going to happen. They're going to have the security force and the curfews. You can't go out after a certain time of night, so you better get used to getting stabbed by those wolves in the shins. It's going to suck.
What, are you talking about like those Boston Dynamics robots who are eventually going to take my job?
Yes.
They just put out a holiday video, and I'm afraid to watch it.
Oh, I gotta find it. I gotta find it.
I don't want to watch it because, like, I'm going to lose my job to that thing probably in, like, 5 years.
The thumbnail is, like, Spot wearing a fucking Santa hat.
Spot?
This is too disgusting.
Oh, is this the name?
That is deeply disturbing and depressing at the same time.
They're going to eat us all and blow us all up.
Pfizer's, like, started buying Boston Dynamic robots that they're calling Fido, spelled
Fido?
P-H-I-D-O. And it's
PH.
like, oh god, that thing's coming for my job, isn't it?
It's clever.
Why wouldn't they do PFIDO?
Actually, no, that's how they spell it. PF.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, that's depressing.
You know what's gonna happen is they're not gonna like. They're gonna have a contest. It's gonna be you versus one of those dogs. Who's the best security guard? The dog will win, but, you know, they'll give you a chance.
Who doesn't ask for, like, worker protections?
Yeah.
Who doesn't complain when there are unsafe working conditions?
So, like, we're going to have, like, Robbie the robot in the fucking grocery stores. And we're going to have little Fido dogs walking around every, like, office building.
This is just another argument to, like, you know how the two largest employers in the United States are the U.S. Army and Walmart?
Yes.
Christ.
Why doesn't, if Walmart had a standing army,
invade the U.S.?
They could. They could.
That's what you have the U.S. Army
That'd
for.
be an invasion that I would support.
So in that vein, if we have like robot dogs trying to take our gerbs,
gerbs, not our gerbs.
This is maybe why the proletariat needs to be universally armed.
How old is that episode?
Because it might not be feral hogs, but it very well may be feral spots. Feral Boston Dynamics robots.
The Fidos.
They'll fuck you up. Imagine getting killed by one of those things. Like your last, like...
They would fuck you up.
The last thing you see is it's like little paws like coming down on your skull. You know?
All you hear is like mechanical whirring noises.
The whir, it's like just hitting you.
They are actually a little bit less unsettling than like the early generation robots that Boston Dynamics made.
Yeah, like Big Dog.
They were like walking diesel generators.
The ones that were like...
That had the like pack on it, that had the battery pack on it and shit. Yeah.
Terrifying.
Those were like made for like war zones though, so.
Yeah.
The new ones.
I mean.
Yeah.
Fascism is like imperialism turned inwards though.
Yes. Yes.
I know you guys are talking about Boston Dynamics dog robots, but I keep thinking of like those little Sony Aibos, those little toy dogs, like getting killed by one of those.
Animatronic rat they made in fucking Fievel Goes West or whatever.
Oh no.
That was a terrifying scene. Watching it as an adult, it was still terrifying.
Can I talk about that actually, the Starbucks?
Yeah.
Starbucks lost $11 billion because of boycotts over
Palestine.
It wasn't specifically over Palestine. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened?
Oh boy.
Was that the union was condemned what was happening? Obviously, called it a genocide, and then the company tried to sue the union for doing that because the company does already contribute to Israel. Say that again. They were already contributing money to Israel.
Where do you think that Israeli blend comes from, boy?
Yeah, and so I don't actually no, that's
I don't know
true.
if that exists.
I don't think so. But anyways, no, the union called for a boycott and people followed through, it seems, and Starbucks lost $11 million. Is that just in stocks or is that actually in like sales?
It's market value.
Oh, okay, so
They're probably losing more than that in sales.
yeah, no, yeah. I will say I agree with the whole like no gift cards policy. Like, don't buy those. Like, if you have to, like, if like buying a coffee is a part of your routine, like, fine, whatever, I get it.
It's
but, like,
really easy to do it if you live in New England. It's called go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah, there's
fucking,
that. There's that. We're also pretty close to a Blue Bottle coffee, so you can always go there too.
I haven't been to a Starbucks in like 2 years.
50% of Starbucks' sales happen around the holidays by our gift cards. It's 50% of like all of the year sales is our gift cards during the holidays. So if you hit them there,
people don't know their relatives well enough to know anything about them. So gift card works, right?
Yeah, in every small town has at least like 2 Starbucks now. So, and one of them has a drive-through.
Oh, that must be a nightmare.
Woo. Yeah, I mean, like, again, I've talked about it. Starbucks is becoming more of a conservative company because, like, nationally, they basically won. They won. They're the biggest national coffee chain in the company and in the country. Jesus, America is a company, but most of our sales,
Scott is not a company man.
No, that was the end dialogue in Killing Them Softly was America's a company, not a country. Fuck you, pay me. Anyways, most of our sales are now generated through drive-through sales. And who drives more than walks? Typically, middle American conservatives. So, got to appeal to your base.
Did you say wops or wasps?
I said middle American conservatives.
I thought you said wops, like you were.
No.
I'd say
Who walks?
He said wops, like wet ass.
Like Fetty Wap.
Don't make me do it.
Ben Shapiro going, what ass P word, but in the plural. That's what I heard.
Macaroni in a pot, yo.
I feel like he wouldn't understand that reference.
Who?
Ben Shapiro.
Wet ass
No.
P word.
He wouldn't.
You know, I know something. I've never actually listened to that song all the way through.
It's a good song.
I've heard like half of it, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Wet ass P word.
Yeah.
Wet ass P word. Wet ass P word.
Wet ass.
Wet ass P word.
I like
Wet
that
ass P word.
Right.
you were like halfway through the song and you're like, all right, I understand this.
Yeah.
I don't need to
we have
listen
a
to the whole
protester.
song.
I see what direction they're going with this here.
I think I
understand
get
the
this.
concepts.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro still haven't figured it out.
Fuck Ben Shapiro. Fuck
Bench
him.
Bebo.
Ben Shabubo, yeah.
Ben
I like-
Chipu.
What do we call him now? Joe, you reading any books lately?
Haven't had as much time. You know, life has been a bit nuts.
It's been straight sack.
We've been recording for an hour. We know we have something that can't be made up. So I guess we'll get into that. Get into that.
Get it.
Every fucking time. That scared me so much. Jesus.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
Is this about Bernie
Oh,
Sanders?
jeez.
No, it's not. This is a bit of an old one. It's from like 3 years ago, but it's timeless.
3 years ago?
It's
an
timeless
older
and
one,
beautiful.
but it checks out.
3 years ago was the pandemic.
Yeah, I don't know how I found this.
Sad.
But I saw it and I was like, that needs to be the thing.
Teacher seized disco equipment from 12-year-old boy who hosted rave in school toilet.
What's this kid's what's his full name?
I love this kid. His name is Cale Bell.
Cale Bell, I'm looking him up. Does he have a SoundCloud?
Why is this paywalled for you guys too?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh no. I don't know how I had it unpaywalled.
Here, I'll find.
Look for it if you want, but I can give you the main points. Basically, this
Here.
12-year-old boy who goes to school in England.
That's edm.com. That's the free version of the story.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's probably where I saw it originally.
These fucking
It
12-year-olds.
was also originally on Jerry's News on Instagram. Entertainment, rave and bathroom. Oh man, this kid rules. What the fuck? All right, go off. Tell the story. Tell us the story of Cale Bell, a courageous little boy and DJ legend across the nation.
Instead of throwing down potato chips and a Sammy during his lunch break, Cale Bell threw down electronic bangers in his school's toilets. Apparently, he managed to... I don't know if it's in this article, but in the one I remember, he invited all of the boys in his grade. Not the girls, just the boys. And each boy was given a chocolate bar and a Lucozade. And I just thought that was a nice touch. And after 30 minutes, the teachers unfortunately raided the bathroom and took away his equipment. But his mom, totally wasn't mad. She was, really happy for him. And she was like...
He made friends in the bathroom.
Yeah. She said, "Am I wrong for finding this funny?"
Peace, Mom.
That's very funny.
She's trying to obtain footage from the bathroom rave. She wrote on Facebook.
There's already a video that she posted of him in their house doing his DJ shit.
Oh, nice.
And I'm not gonna judge his work, his skills.
Well, he is 12 years fucking old. So
I mean, it's just that it's just that the song that he's cutting up is Jingle Bell Rock, and it's just oh, poor choice. So that's all.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. I wish we had, a clip of that.
I'll put it in post if it exists.
No, it does. It does. It's right here.
Please do.
I don't know how in the fuck I would get the code for this video.
I don't want to be rude, but
Did we all just stop talking? What was that?
Yeah, we waiting for something.
Sorry.
The suspense is killing us.
Yeah, it really is. I was trying to get the fucking video.
Okay, well, if you're in the future, you'll know how fucking cool that was.
Whoa. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Anyway, thank you for sharing. That truly is not a story that I could have made up.
Me neither.
And how?
All right, get ready for this shit. It sucks.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait.
I mean, there's some noise from the room, but...
I don't like the way this physically makes me feel.
We're gonna get a strike if I keep doing that, sorry.
And how does that make you feel?
Shitty.
I feel like I need to take a bath.
Take a bath.
Take a digital bath, motherfucker.
Take a digital bath. Isn't that a Deftones song?
Yes.
Alright. Joe, you ever listen to the Deftones?
It's not the Deftones.
Joe, you ever listen to Deftones? Jesus Christ,
No.
I'm sorry.
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of them? What the fuck are you... You've never... With like White Pony, Saturday Night Wrist? Those other Diamond Eyes? What's their other album?
Around the Fur is definitely...
The Japanese...
Around the Fur is my
Fur.
shit. That was their debut LP,
I like
wasn't
their
it?
more chill, like later spacey shit. I mean, that's me.
We're a Deftones podcast now.
Yeah, we're the dissect for the Deftones now. Anyways, no. I just want to say happy holidays to everyone.
Yeah, happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, happy Christmas. That thing, you know, it happens every once a year.
That's right.
Jesus' birthday.
Speaking of Hanukkah, our president yesterday said at the White House's Hanukkah party that were it not for Israel, not a single Jew in the world would be safe.
What a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
No, but Congress passed the resolution
894.
894.
Some bullshit.
According
So
to
this
said resolution,
podcast-
everybody listening to this is now, congratulations, you're all anti-Semites.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We're hate criminals now.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, we apologize. You are now... Well, now everybody who listens to this podcast, including us, we all have to collectively condemn Hamas, so...
Makes me think of that meme where, like, you're at the gas station and the pump, instead of asking you if you want a receipt, it says, condemn Hamas?
Yes.
No.
Joe.
Yes.
That's what I want to hear. Anyways, my name is Scott. We're wrapping up, right?
Wrapping it up.
We're wrapping it up?
Wrap it up.
All right.
Oh, wait. There was other...
Oh, there's other stuff.
Well, there was... I don't... Yeah, fuck it.
Do we want to talk about it? No, if you want to talk about it.
I don't want to edit it. We'll just pretend we had nothing else, and then I don't have to edit as much stuff.
We did nothing else? We were just blank slates.
Yes,
all right.
we had nothing else.
You didn't see anything.
You did not see the plane flying with the Palestine flag on it. That
says Harvard hates Jews.
Yes, you did not see that plane.
Nope.
I definitely did not see that plane as I was entering my apartment building the other day.
Harvard hates Jews? Since when?
We'll let the mainstream press cover that shit.
Yeah, fuck you. What, you want stories from us? Fuck you. Go to MSNBC. Fuck yourself. I hit a nerve with Joe there. My name is Scott.
Funny.
Oh my god. I am just like drowning over here. My name is Scott. You can find me on the internet.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
It's my favorite song. It's my favorite song in particular, and I'm very happy that Jesse sang it right there for me. This is what comrades do for each other.
You said you're drowning. You're drowning. And I was like,
Drowning Pool.
Drowning Pool.
What a bad name for a band. It's so stupid.
No. Their logo is sick, though, because if you flip it upside down, it's the same.
Oh, shit. That's so cool. Anyway.
My email address is like that. That's why my email address is so weird.
Oh.
Oh shit, that's so cool.
The Slackware Linux logo is like that too.
Oh shit, that's so cool. Any more that are like that?
Yeah, that tattoo that says like
oh shit, that's so
faith.
Cool. Oh shit, that's so cool. Anyways, yeah, my name is Scott, Sweaty Wife on the internet. I don't care where. Instagram. I'm also stream on Twitch. I'm also, whatever. Who cares? Joe, you're not on the internet. You don't give a fuck. All you do is talk about baseball and then politics and then like doomerism.
All he do is baseball, hot chip, and lie.
Right?
More or less. Man, Scott's really in the mood to wrap it up.
I'm not in the mood.
He is in the mood tonight, folks.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gross. You guys are... Fuck you guys. Fuck you. Chava, you can talk about yourself for a second.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Uh-huh.
Seriously, can I give you some fucking fruit juice?
I'd love some fucking fruit juice.
You have Zizak fight me over here. Zizak and Brian Cox in a fight? Oh man, I would pay to see that.
Oh. Brian Cox, like the hot guy?
Brain Cox.
Brian Cox, like the fucking original Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, okay. So not the physicist.
And we come full circle.
Like fucking from Succession. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm Chava. You can find me on this podcast, not on the internet.
He's Jesse. And he's Jesse. I gotta start.
Jesse.
Joe's right about me. I gotta calm down.
You can find myself on youtube.com/@contingence Boston, CONTINGENCE Boston. And I do have a slam recommendation tonight. Your slam recommendation is... It's an album entitled Rebel Child of Nature. And the band is Worship Pestilence. And they're from motherfucking Bolivia, bro.
Nice.
Shit's been stuck in my head.
It's pretty catchy.
This part. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, they're from Cochabamba. Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called. It's the subdivision of territory called. County?
What?
Whatever, man. Anyway, I like them. Okay, fuck off.
Pretty good.
It's like groovy. It's very unique. It doesn't sound like American death metal.
That important?
To me, it is.
Okay.
Variety.
Variedad.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because usually, like, with American music, you have, like, the bass is, like, the first quarter note, and then hi-hat is the second quarter note, and then the snare is the third, and then the hi-hat is the fourth quarter note. You know what I mean? So it's like, boom, tsh, dun, tsh, boom, tsh, dun, tsh, boom, tsh, dun, tsh, dun, tsh, dun, tsh, dun, tsh, dun, tsh.
That's American metal?
Yes, fuck you.
That's exactly what American metal sounds like, dude.
Okay.
Are you a scholar?
No, I'm not.
I didn't think so.
I was asking for clarification. Okay.
I
don't know enough about it, apparently. I mean, Jesus, I asked you what slaves were on one of our episodes.
No, you've asked me like 5 times. I've explained it a different way every time.
Oh my god, I'm an asshole. Jesus.
I don't know, honestly. Like, nobody does.
Nobody really does. It's just
when you hear it.
Schrödinger snare.
It's just about the what? Is this about the fuck Schrödinger snare?
It is Schrödinger snare.
All right.
I feel like I looked this up and there was a concrete definition somewhere. All I can remember is that the vocals have to be unintelligible.
Yes, that is one of the definite criteria.
That's a criterion, yeah.
Slam riffs are distinct palm-muted guitar riffs that are slow, chuggy, and groove-laden.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, that's probably why I like it, because I kind of like that shit.
Like, you can play anything on the first 4 frets, basically, which is funny because I have an Ibanez, which is basically a death metal machine, and it has 8 fucking strings. And it's like, realistically, you don't need
8 fucking strings.
Like, you could, if you just had a regular bass, you could play the same exact shit on it. If you're only going to use the first 4 frets.
That's sick.
So you don't have to fret that much. Oh, thank you. You know what that makes me want to say?
But tank, though.
No, you have to plug the...
Oh, it makes me want to say that we have a Patreon. We're on YouTube,
My bad.
Facebook, Instagram, at Epic Incredulity. Check it out. Check out the Marxist Melange. Menagerie. I did it.
I started narrating Mao Zedong's on the correct handling of the contradictions among the people.
Wow, that's a pretty complicated name.
What's going on, buddy?
The thing is, though, he's probably the most, like, you can interpret the source text in a number of different ways because Chinese doesn't translate into English
That well.
with a one-to-one, but his writing is so much more straightforward than a lot of other...
Oh, yeah, he's like hilariously to the point.
He's fucking so smart, too. I love this quote. Hold on, let me just plug this quote.
He's kind of like if you try to like translate the Quran into English. A lot of it sounds like, and the haters and the losers will be vanquished.
The haters.
Quote, sometimes contradictions arise and the equilibrium is upset because our subjective arrangements do not conform to objective reality. This is what we call making a mistake. It's so fucking good, dude. It's just so good.
We love him.
We do.
We do.
He didn't do anything wrong. And he should have done more of it.
The only thing he did wrong was he did not kill enough landlords.
He didn't say but tank, though. That's the one thing he didn't do, right?
But tank.
Yeah. Yeah! But every week, every time we say that's your epoch and Batankdo, when we suck those tankdos, I don't know what that meant. So you think Nancy Reagan is just sucking that Kissinger hog in hell?
I mean, I can't see what else she'd be doing in hell.
Getting pissed on.
With that Kissinger hog?
Catholic tradition, suicide is actually like one of the worst sins because you're doing it to yourself.
But I thought it was like so bad that it's like you don't even go to fucking hell.
Good.
You just like are trapped in the...
go through the
purgatory
floor.
Is like you're not going straight to hell, but you're also not immediately going to hell.
You clip into a negative zone. You go to the back rooms.